You are looking at Ayers Hall on the campus of the University of Tennessee, where tonight the Volunteers, looking to improve to 8-4 in league play, take on the LSU Tigers. Welcome inside, everybody. He is the coach, Mark Wise. I am Mike Morgan. Great to be with you this Saturday evening. The Tennessee Volunteers and the LSU Tigers, two teams that might be headed in different directions, but right now one guy who's headed in the right direction is the talented freshman Nate Ament, one of the best in the country and playing some of the best basketball in the country.
And in the last 8 games, Ament has gone from good to great. How has he done it? In a variety of ways. By taking his offensive skills and putting them in attack mode. More physicality in getting to the rim or drawing fouls. Using his length to shoot over people. Also being a factor in the transition game. And for Tennessee, even as a freshman, Ament has become their go-to guy in crunch time. The result, Ament in the last 8 games is averaging just under 23 per. 6+ rebounds, but also getting to the free throw line 9 times a game. The freshman is a 3-level scorer.
Some players, particularly freshmen, the numbers start to dissipate when you get into the rough and rugged conference play of the SEC. His numbers have augmented. They've gotten better as he's averaging over 20 points a game in the SEC. It's a special night here, little emo Valentine's magic here in the hood of Knoxville, Tennessee. So the Volunteers going in the all-black unis, LSU in white. Center is jumped up, and the winning tip will go to Nwoko and the LSU Tigers. LSU in desperate need of a win. They've been decimated by injuries all year long, and they've got another one here today as their leading scorer, Max McKinnon, will be out with a knee injury. So they're basically down 3 starters from what they were supposed to be at the beginning of the year. Tennessee on the other side, they've been relatively healthy. And of course, they're led not only by Ament, but the point guard, Jacoby Gillespie, number 0 in black, one of the top scoring guards in the conference. And there is that guard that we just spoke of, Jacoby Gillespie, who shoots at a 35% clip from downtown. King and Reese are trying to fill in that point guard role for LSU, but Marquel Sutton, that is the guy that Coach Matt McMahon told us at shoot-around today. He has got to bring his A game. When they've been at their best, he's been at his best. His first shot, though, is contested at the apex. A block for Tennessee, and the Volunteers take it right back into front court with Ament leading the way.
Big front court rim protection for the Vols.
Drive, alley-oop pass, and that's going to be a push foul. A little.
This was a great cut by Sutton down the lane, but watch the quick reaction by Estrella to be rim protection supreme in the first possession. And Mike, for LSU to pull off or to even be the hang-around team tonight, I think 2 things have got to happen. They've got to survive tempo. They've got to go one segment at a time, try to keep it close. And then they've got to do something they haven't been doing, which is make a lot of threes.
Make a lot of threes. So we have back-to-back push fouls on LSU on attempted alley-oops. The first one was on King. That one goes against Nwoko. Now, on top of everything else that LSU needs to do well in this game tonight, they need to avoid foul trouble because they have very little depth at this point. Comes into Ament. Baseline jumper is silky smooth, and it's 5-0 Volunteers.
I just love the progression in his game month by month this season. Now is a much more get the ball to me player. Doesn't mind the spotlight.
Just picked it up game by game, and as you mentioned at the top, that 8-game streak he has coming in is exceptional. Shot clock down to 5. Spin move misses, and there's Ament on the rebound. Ament showing off some ball handling, little Euro, and it spins out.
I love the way he utilizes his length, though, to get to the rim now.
6'10", 207-pound frame. There's a 3 drilled by Jalen Reese.
Well, that's what they're going to need. A guy who's shooting 24% from deep on the year. They're going to need different guys to step up, especially from beyond the arc.
Freshman out of Orlando, Florida. Inside, Estrella, just bully ball. Nobody there to really provide much resistance. And it's 7-3, Vols on top.
What did Rick Barnes tell us today? One of the things that they got away from in the Mississippi State game was starting with inside first. And he wants to see a lot of touches for the bigs early in the game.
Get it in that orange painted area. LSU again having trouble finding daylight. Estrella all over his man, and a terrific shot being harassed by Pablo Tamba.
Tamba had nothing going, just kind of created his own space.
Tamba spent 2 years at UC Davis before becoming an LSU Tiger. Down low, another paint touch, a wheel, a deal, and a miss. That time off the mark by Akara.
I just feel like at some point in time, shorthanded today, Matt McMahon may have to try some zone.
Long rebound to Gillespie on the attack. Gillespie spinning, and LSU is there to pick up the pilfer off the spin move.
Yeah, that's one of the problems that Tennessee has had all season long. Too high of a turnover rate.
LSU basketball.
Pablo Tamba, watch this, Mike, as he just kind of leans in to create his own space and knocks down that tough two-point shot.
Some might say there's a little bit of luck involved in that shot, and if there's a team that could use some luck, it's LSU. And if there's a coach that could use some luck, it's Matt McMahon. I made the comment the other day, if Coach McMahon didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Just another year of battling all kinds of injuries and adversity. You give him his full complement of players.
Yeah, they were off to a 12-1 start.
12-1 start. And no Jalen Reed, and then another miss today for DJ Thomas. The news coming out earlier today, released by the sports information director, Kent Lowe. He's out for the year now, so he will not be coming back. So you've lost your point guard, your best post player, and now your best scorer in McKinnon, at least for today.
Certainly your best shooter from beyond the arc.
Yeah. Well,
this is going to be a game of tempo, too. Matt McMahon told us that shoot around, they can't afford for this game to get in the 80s.
No. And Tennessee loves to push. That's a common misconception that Tennessee just likes to slog it up in a half-court game. Rick Barnes is quick to point out today, you see Amen. Again, how are you going to block that shot at 6'10" and a high riser? But a lot of people think Tennessee just likes to play half-court basketball. They love to push tempo, but when it's there, not forced. Free throw line, and a pass down low, and a foul drawn for Tamba. It'll be Tamba at the free throw line when we come back, and Tennessee up by 4.
6'10", get feet in the paint, play off 2 feet. That is next level good.
Beautiful shots of downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. The Volunteers leading the LSU Tigers by a score of 9-5. We've talked about what LSU looked like at the beginning of the year and what they look like now. The man there that you see in the middle dressed in black, that is Max McKinnon out of Australia, who is really becoming their main guy in terms of shooting and scoring. He's out tonight with a knee injury. He suffered that in the Arkansas game. They don't think he's going to be overly serious. They hope to have him back here sooner rather than later. But you combine that with Jalen Reed and DJ Thomas, and it's just one of those situations, Mark. You're playing shorthanded every night. It's really tough to overcome.
That's your starting 5-man, your starting point guard, your best three-point shooter. McKinnon had made 3 or more threes 11 times this year. And in DJ Thomas, you've got a point guard. He's only played in 16 games, but you've got a point guard who not only led you in scoring with over 15 a game, 104 assists on the year, only 26 turnovers. So in a lot of ways, the offense, the scheme was all built around having those 3 guys, and they don't have any of those tonight.
It wasn't that long ago when Thomas was healthy. He was the SEC assist leader. He was averaging nearly 7 assists a game in addition to the scoring. Henderson in the game now for Tennessee, number 24 in black, gets it, wings it out into the corner now, and now down low, that's Carey. Carey, the former Vanderbilt Commodore, to Henderson on a triple, off the mark, and contact. That's going to be another push on LSU. Down low, that's Dwayne Brown, who is a load at 6'8", 250, the freshman out of Hoover, Alabama.
Tennessee in SEC play, number 1 in the league in offensive rebound percentage. They average more than 16 offensive rebounds a game. And that time Brown had worked for inside position and just kind of gets his legs taken out from under. Nothing extra there.
LSU has given up a lot of size to Tennessee, who not only has good size in the starting 5, but they can bring in guys like this off the bench. Carey backing in, big size advantage off Sutton. Carey carving up space, now kicks it out to Amen, rims off, and the rebound to LSU. Nice box out on the play by Robert Miller, the 6'10 sophomore.
But Mike, you can see Tennessee, they want to pound it inside.
P.J. Carter in the game for LSU. 5th-year senior, transfer from Memphis.
Oh, Sutton's got to shoot that.
They want Sutton to be a little more assertive, but he missed it from close range.
When it's your moment on offense and you're open, you've got to take it.
Boswell to Henderson. Henderson tried to thread the needle, couldn't do it. Quick hands by Miller. LSU with numbers all the way, and drawing the foul is Jalen Reese. So LSU, this is the kind of game that might actually give LSU the best chance of winning. As you alluded to earlier, and as Coach McMahon told us today at shoot-around, they can't win a game in the 90s or even the 80s. They really have to keep this somewhat of a more possession-by-possession game.
Yeah, and I like the attack by Reese after the turnover by Henderson. So back-to-back turnovers for the Vols. It's one of the things, they had a much higher turnover rate earlier in January. They've gotten a little better. But when you're talking about teams and their turnover margin, which means are you turning people, your opponents, over more than the ones you're committing? They have been very average in that category.
LSU has had some opportunities at the free throw line. 2 of 4 at the stripe now in a 2-point game. 14 minutes to go first half. The Volunteers trying to improve to 8-4. That would keep them in the top 4 of the SEC standings, which will be more and more significant as we get closer to the SEC tournament. Gillespie had it stripped, drove into traffic, loose basketball, scooped up, and a nice save that time from his back by Tamba.
That's 3 turnovers in 4 possessions. Man, you got to make those.
Got to convert. Tamba had it right near the rim and just a bad angle off the glass.
It's interesting to note, I think LSU is athletic enough in their 3-4 positions to compete with Tennessee.
Carey again carving up space, and draws the foul. It's just going to be tough for LSU to match up with some of these Tennessee bigs. And Carey, 6'8", 270. We talked to Coach Barnes today about Carey. He wants him to just be more consistent.
Watch this reach in by Miller. Everything is okay so far, and then right there he reaches in. So many times we talk about patience on the offensive end. There's also such a thing as defensive patience. You've done the work. You've bodied up. You've squared up. You've moved your feet. Don't allow your hands to get you in trouble.
Now, this is the part of Carey's game that at all three schools he's been at. You and I first saw him a couple years ago in the Sun Belt Championship game at James Madison. And then, of course, following his coach to Vanderbilt and now at Tennessee. But at all three places he has struggled at the line. A career 54% free throw shooter. And sure enough, he splits the freebies. Tennessee up by 4. Tigers haven't hit a field goal in over 4 minutes. And there's Carey on a steal. Lead pass all the way. Yes, reverse layup is up and in from Ethan Berg.
What a crafty finish. I thought that pass was going to lead him too far under the basket.
Inside, bodies banging, follow-up no. How about a third time? Absolutely not. And Tennessee rips down the rebound. Evans.
What a collision inside.
Bullet pass down low to Carey. Big to big for the bucket and an 8-point lead.
Yeah, Nwoko got caught on the wrong side there.
Reese gets a ball screen, gives it back to Nwoko. Great pass into the corner. That's great offense, but LSU is just chilly from outside. Now 2 for 12 from the field.
Nothing wrong with the execution. Short corner, open three.
Inside push by Sutton, and that's become a theme. Fouls by LSU down low. How about the hustle play? Carey leading his man Ethan Berg, and a reverse layup on the finish. It's a 14-7 lead for Tennessee. Rick Barnes' Tennessee Volunteers enjoying a 14-7 lead here at the Food City Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee. Nate Ament off to another good start. He had 4 points right out of the gate. This was Rick Barnes earlier in the week talking about Nate Ament. He says, well, I really don't care what anyone else says. I wouldn't trade Nate for anybody in the country. Been good all year. We knew it would take some time to figure out the physical part for any freshman to add to his game, and he earns it. He is the last guy to leave at practice, and all that work that he's put in, Mark Wise, has paid off here of late.
Well, after they had a chat right before the Florida game, take another look at his first 16 games compared to the last 8. Whether you're talking about scoring or shooting or the 3-ball or getting on the glass, tonight already with 4 points, he got an extended breather there in the second segment. So message received, message sent, message received. The one thing that I mentioned in the open that's kind of a hidden gem, if you will, getting to the free throw line. And when guys get to the free throw line a lot, your scoring goes up. Ament getting to the line 9 times a game over the last 8.
He has won the SEC Freshman of the Week 5 times, Ament has. That is a new Tennessee record. We might have to rename the award this season to the Ament A. Cuff Award, because they both have over a handful of times they've taken home the crown.
Yeah, I was starting to ask, other than A. Cuff and Ament, who has won the...
I'm not sure. We'd have to take a deep dive, but
we'll get in trouble for that.
Yes.
But yeah.
Somebody out there saying, I won it back in November. No, they've dominated the award in a year of super freshmen throughout the sport of college basketball.
Yeah.
Those two have been very special here in the SEC. Estrella checking back into the game for Tennessee. LSU trying to snap a 2.5-minute scoring drought. They've missed their last 5 shots from the field. Another offensive rebound.
But that's a tough 2.
Nwoko. Wow. That's just a prayer. And that's out of bounds to Tennessee. So a tough possession there for LSU. Not really getting much of a good look. Rick Barnes trying to make some history today. 853 career wins is tied for the most among active D1 coaches, but he's got a chance to do something else. How about 250 wins or more at 2 different schools? He did that, of course, at Texas during his time in Austin, and has a chance to do it here. There's some elite company of guys that have done that. The others, how about this list? Dana Altman, Lou Henson, Bob Huggins, Jim Larinaga, Kelvin Sampson, Eddie Sutton, and Roy Williams. So that is elite company.
That's a Hall of Fame list.
That's a Hall of Fame list, and he is a Hall of Fame coach. And he's already got a Final Four in his resume. He would love nothing more than to do something for Tennessee that hasn't been done. In the illustrious history of this great program, Tennessee has never been to a Final Four. That's the only thing missing. They've been to the Elite 8 the last 2 years, as Estrella with an easy dunk off the inbounds. Off the curl up top, it's Mosley, the freshman out of Los Angeles. Gets it back on the handoff. 8 on the shot clock. Mosley feeling it. Mosley, heat check 3. How about that?
Yeah,
that's Mosley.
That's what the young freshman can do. He's over 40% on the year. He hasn't taken a lot of threes, but he might become part of the offensive mix moving forward for LSU.
That puts an end to an 8-0 run.
Oh, you got to go get rebounds. Everybody just kind of stood.
Well, this was the biggest fear for Coach McMahon. Tennessee can kill you on the offensive glass. They're the second best rebounding team in the country, plus 13 on the glass. The only team that has a greater margin, the Florida Gators, who won another one today to stay in first place. They beat Kentucky. Left wing 3.
Yeah.
Online, but too strong. Ament tracks down the rebound and then throws it off of Sutton out of bounds. Heads up play.
Mike, every once in a while, a big is going to get the ball out of the scoring zone. Watch where Estrella posted up right here. Watch where he catches the ball and watch where he gets his shot. Both feet back almost in the paint. So even though he scored outside this, or he took his shot and received the ball outside the scoring zone, he worked himself back into a better spot.
You know, you and I have been coming to Tennessee games and Tennessee practices for a long time. I don't know if there's a team in the country that has their bigs work on that move and that little hook shot more than Rick Barnes and his Tennessee squad. It's old school, but it still works.
And you're talking both practice, shoot around.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's every day.
They
it's
emphasize
repetition.
it. Yes. They don't just have their bigs shoot a bunch of threes, which has become so commonplace for a lot of places. There's a drive and a foul. Ament on a blow by.
That's what I'm talking about. Embracing the physicality of being a scorer. That time on the drive, he sought the contact. He wanted to get to the free throw line.
Free throw is good for Ament, who's now got 5. Tomorrow morning, our Shriners Clearwater Softball Invitational coverage continues with number 8 Texas A&M taking on James Madison. An early bird special at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Breakfast with SEC softball on the SEC Network. He's Mark Wise. I'm Mike Morgan. Great to be with you. A little bit under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Tennessee has led throughout. Volunteers really hitting their stride here of late.
Good execution, yes. That's really well done. Ball reversal, a lot of body movement, a lot of ball movement. Nwoko spotted up. Keep your eye on number 1, White. Catches, ball fake, attract defenders, get yourself to the free throw line. And Nwoko's been solid at the line for a big this year, 72%.
Started his career at Mississippi State by way of Toronto, Canada. We've got Canadians, Aussies, and a Spaniard in this game.
Sounds like the Olympics.
Yeah. International flair has certainly impacted the game of college basketball. It's rare to see a roster without a foreign player anymore. Nicely done at the line to pull within 9.
And like I mentioned earlier, I would be surprised if LSU doesn't throw out some zone. And here it is. A little 2-3. Ball's got to go to the free throw line or the short corner.
Gillespie to Evans. There's the attack. The feed down low. Air ball. Follow. No. Third attempt off the mark. And Sutton tracks it down for LSU.
Well, that'll be the challenge. If you zone, can you rebound out of it? No block out responsibilities. But Mike, don't you feel like LSU's got the tempo kind of where they would like to have it?
No, this is, I mean, talking with Coach McMahon, I think he feels this is the only way they can win right now, shorthanded. Keep this a lower scoring game. 5 to shoot, 3 ball off the mark, ripping down the rebound, Akpara. Akpara, the former Ohio State Buckeye out of Lagos, Nigeria.
Maybe makes and misses, back to man.
Alley-oop. Somebody forgot about number 13 in black, J.P. Estrella.
I think LSU had a little confusion. Were they in man? Were they in zone? I thought the bigs were in man. The guards thought they were in a zone. Throw over on point.
Reese spinning his way in the lane. Kick out pass. Mosley pump fake, then pulls the trigger and sinks his second from downtown, and it's 23-15.
Yeah, he's now 6 for 14 in the SEC play from deep. Kind of a three-point specialist.
A guy that has not logged a ton of minutes this year, but again, with all the injuries, time for him to shine and maybe show what he can do moving forward as a true freshman. Gillespie with a rare air ball.
That looked off the minute it left his hand.
And that'll bring us to a timeout with 7:33 to go. Tennessee on top by 8 in Knoxville. Today's Heart of the Game is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Yes, you're talking to two guys who love to love, Mike Morgan, Mark Wise, and a lot of love is in the air, Mark. You can feel it with all ages.
And I always say, if you don't have it, hide it.
I don't know if that's hiding it or drawing more attention to it, but I love that guy for just saying, you know what? I'm putting the logo on the bald spot.
Courage.
Courage.
Courage. I do not have the courage to do that.
Oh, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in on Valentine's Day. Hopefully everything is going great for you and the special people in your life. 7:33 to go. It's 23-15. Tennessee Volunteer lead over LSU. LSU would just love to pull off an upset.
Oh, man, that had danger written all over it. Mosley's got Boswell on him, and Boswell always guards the other team's best perimeter threat. But that foul's going to get Boswell to the bench.
Yeah, second foul on Boswell, but he is kind of that do-everything guy, and if you could have a shutdown defender, think of what Elijah Martin meant last year to Florida.
Or Will Richards.
But Martin came from FAU, not known as the best scorer in the world, but man, was he a bulldog on the defensive end. Speaking of bulldogs, Carey tries to bulldoze his way over the LSU front line, instead turns it over.
I don't think Rick Barnes is very happy with his big there.
I don't think Rick was happy with the air ball from Gillespie that we saw before break, and he's not going to be happy with Carey on that play. Those are two players you and I asked him about today, and he said, you know, Gillespie has been terrific for us, but some of the bigger games that we've lost, those have just been off games. Very often how Gillespie plays is how he winds up going.
I think you're going to have to take some offensive chances today with your LSU. So I'll go back and let Amen isolate again.
Amen tried to thread the needle to Carey. That's a tough pass, deflected out of bounds.
Neither one of these teams shoot a lot of threes. As a matter of fact, this is the two teams that shoot the least amount of threes in league play. LSU shoots 20 a game. Tennessee only shoots 18. The difference is Tennessee leads the league in percentage. And here's another near turnover.
Carey plowing his way in. Just a tough matchup for any of LSU's bigs, including Pablo Tamba.
Speaking of courage, try to take the charge on Carey.
Yeah. No fun. It's going to be a trip inadvertently, but still a trip nonetheless on Ethan Bird.
Watch this as Tamba tries to take the charge. Carey just kind of bulldozes his way in.
You know who'd be proud of that move? Father Vernon, who played in the NFL for 8 years, not afraid of contact, and neither is son Jalen Carey.
LSU really runs some really neat stuff offensively. They got into last possession. Oh, what a fake.
Great move by Jalen Reese. You're looking at perhaps the future with Mosley and Reese, two guards that are just freshmen. And LSU will fall back into the zone.
Again, just another way to tempo. Zone on top, and maybe the bigs are trying to match up a little bit. Kind of confused Tennessee, maybe.
7 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. 1 on the shot clock. At the buzzer, it's Berg. Just how they drew it up, Coach.
Yeah, he's almost 50% from deep. Another guy who hadn't taken a lot. Good shot clock awareness.
Tigers trying to find something on offense. That'll work. Nwoko from the elbow takes it strong.
Yeah, that's a good sign because Nwoko had a tough game against Arkansas, only 3. But remember that overtime win at South Carolina. He had 21 there. Well, this may be a little bit of a junk defense on Amen. The impressive play here is by Carey, who didn't panic late in the clock. He knows the clock. The defender comes just enough over to carry the pass back out front, was on point. Berg knocks down the three.
Another country we haven't mentioned.
Back to back.
Berg, he's got some international flair to his game. He's from Israel.
That makes him now 10 for 20 on the season. Last time I checked, that's good.
That's good. He was the youngest player on Israel's roster at the FIBA Euro Basket Invitational, and LSU responds on the other end. An and one.
This is such an impressive short roll. Tennessee likes to hedge with their bigs on the pick and roll. Watch as the defender Carey gets in no man's land. The guard delivers the pass to Nwoko on time, on target. Big fella's got a little offensive roll going right now.
That's the second foul on Carey. He'll take a seat on the bench, but again, Tennessee has great depth in their front court, so they can just rotate one big after another. You said something a moment ago that I think is worth touching upon, and that is watching the LSU's offense. They run great stuff. You hear that about certain coaches.
Yeah.
The respect for Matt McMahon, for coaches in this league, including Rick Barnes today, who told us point blank, he is a fantastic coach. Coaches know good coaching,
right?
And they see it for LSU, and they certainly understand what he's had to deal with here the last couple of years.
They run a lot of what I call swinging staggers, where a stagger's on one side of the floor, they'll set it on the other side of the floor. It's really hard to defend.
Estrella just knifing in and draws the foul on the Tigers' Tamba.
This is good execution also, and it's almost a carbon copy of what LSU did to Tennessee. This time it's Berg and Estrella. Nifty little pocket pass. Most of the time I don't like those for really big guys. They have a hard time reaching down and catching it. Take another look at this play. Here comes the screen. There's the roll, little pocket pass. See Estrella actually catch that at his knees. That is so impressive.
Four-star recruit at a Brewster Academy in New Hampshire.
Ball's just 4 for 8. Excuse me, 5 for 8 at the free throw line now.
That's a 10-point game of LSU just hanging around, and that's what they're going to have to do if they're going to spring an upset here tonight. In a break zone, Tigers trying to get a little momentum before the break. Scissor dribble working up top. Over to the left side, Tamba got hit by Estrella, absorbed the contact and still banked it in.
Man, you've got to call that. He gets bumped off of his drive line.
Berg gets it back on the return. LSU playing a lot of zone here in this first half. Berg passed up the three. Ament will not. Ament too strong, but a long rebound tracked down by the freshman. Now Ament all the way and splits the trees and lays it in.
Another offensive rebound for Tennessee leads to second chance points. Boy, he's got an Inspector Gadget arms, doesn't he?
He sure does. 8 points now for the bouncy freshman. Inside and hammered on the drive is Reese.
Take another look at the young freshman. Ament misses the three, runs down his rebound, and then coming right at you, the extension all the way to the rim. Falls up at home. You'll have to tell me what he said.
I think the question was, what can Tennessee do come postseason, how they're looking right now. I think Tennessee, I know they had the loss against Kentucky, but I think Tennessee is playing some of the best basketball in this league right now. And the more I look at it with Ament playing at the level he is, Mark, we talked about the depth in the front court. When Gillespie is on, they're an awfully difficult team to beat.
If they want to get to the second weekend, I think the offense has to get better. In Ken Palm, they're 42 on offense, 14 on defense. The defense is always going to be there under a Rick Barnes team. But the offense has got to get a little bit better, a little bit smoother, and it has over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Of course, that would be the alma mater of one Ron Slay. The alma mater of our friend Dari Noka is Oklahoma. And if you were watching the game before us between Georgia and Oklahoma, I thought I've seen it all. They had a delay. The popcorn machine caught fire at the concession stand. So they actually had to stop play for a bit. I'm guessing the popcorn was a little bit overcooked.
I'll tell you what else was on fire in that game. Oklahoma at the arc, they made 14 threes.
Yeah. Big win for the Sooners. They're not out of it. Shot clock ticking down. That'll be an air ball. They'll let them play on.
What a defensive stand, that possession by LSU. See if you can probe in transition and then run half-court offense.
It's going to be a push foul on Estrella. And coming back in for the Volunteers is Gillespie.
Yeah, that's the kind of silly foul that just drives coaches crazy.
Yeah, because each team in the bonus now, 18 fouls on each side.
And Mike, here we are, LSU hanging around, controlling tempo.
So they just got completely overtaken by Arkansas the other night on their home floor. That game was over in a hurry. This is a different story. LSU playing much better basketball. Tennessee keeping the window ajar. Strong take and a foul call, and that's probably a good thing for LSU.
Yeah.
Had you not gotten the whistle, Dwayne Brown was there for the stick back.
Tennessee has gotten off to a sharing start. They've got 13 field goals made from, and they've had 11 assists.
All right, I have another question for you, Dr. Wise, that has not had to do directly with this game or the art of not burning popcorn, which I've done several times in a microwave, but not in a concession stand.
Have you ever burnt it on Valentine's Day, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, just
one
checking.
of my many mistakes that I've conducted on Valentine's Day over the years. I want to talk about the team that lost that game. Georgia.
Yeah.
What's going on right now with the Bulldogs, who got off to a great start?
Well, again, I believe they played without Wilkinson today, and any team that plays without their leading scorer is impacted.
Yeah.
I've always said this, one of the most misused terms in athletics is next man up. Because if the next man up was as good as the player he's replacing, you wouldn't be the next man up.
Yeah.
That's an illegal screen. And it's illegal because Nwoko pivoted. He's okay as long as he stands, but once he pivots, he becomes an illegal screener. Take another look. Here's the initial. He's okay, but the seam turn in. Yeah, that's a no-no.
$1:20 remaining in the first half.
This zone has also slowed the game down for LSU.
I'm surprised, and we asked Rick Barnes about this, why more teams don't play zone. There's a block from behind, a terrific block by Robert Miller.
That time, Ament one dribble too far. Take what the defense gives you.
Reese trying to create some space, can't do it. Now he's on another big. Brown trying to guard him. Left wing Mosley. Shot clock down to 5. Reese. 3 ball at the top. A foul and a chance at a 4-point play for Pablo Tamba.
Just total lack of patience on the defensive end. I think the closeout angle's okay. I think he hits the arm. Yeah, that's an easy call. Tamba with the rare and one after making a three-point shot. And this is the kind of thing you've got to do. LSU, they make fewer threes in SEC play than anybody else. Just over 6 a game. They've already made 4.
Is it time for the commentary on why people are fouling three-point shooters?
Oh, gosh, we've seen a lot of that.
It's just so much of it. I just don't understand it. Timeout called by Tennessee. They use it or lose it with 28.9 on the clock. Coming up next, it's South Carolina and the Alabama Crimson Tide. As Alabama now knows,
right,
no Bediako, turn the page. It's still a very talented team, Martin.
Yeah, and what they're doing, because I had their game at Ole Miss midweek, is once Sherrell went out of the game, then they went small. They didn't replace him with another big like Williamson. They went small. So it's a different kind of lineup, but it's still the same Alabama team that will press you on offense. We usually talk about teams that press you defensively. Alabama presses you. Their tempo, their three-point attempts, their three-point makes, they press you on offense.
And they have the personnel to do it, particularly with their guards.
Yeah, Wrightsell the other day made 7, I think, from deep. But they've got 2 other guys that could do that any other game. So, and I love Amari Allen as a freshman. We don't talk about him enough.
Yeah, he doesn't get quite the same love as A-Cuff and A-Ment. If you're just joining us, A-Ment has 8 points. He's at the top of your screen, number 10 in black. As Tennessee will try to find a crease in this zone.
And the bigs were trying to screen each other down low. LSU's bigs were equal to the match.
Clock at 3. Amen. Stripped. And it's out of bounds with .2. Sensational defense from Jalen Reese.
Now this has got to be a lob. Some sort of tip at the rim. Watch them crowd in. This is going to be for Amen. And we got a lot of pushing and shoving.
Well, you're LSU. You see it right here.
Yeah.
They are dwarfed by Tennessee's front line.
I think everybody in this arena knows where this ball is going. Right in front of the rim.
Look at that. That is 9 guys just crammed right in the lane. There it goes. Like an alley-oop or like a Hail Mary pass in football. That one had no chance.
Plenty of time here. Matt McMahon takes his use it or lose it.
Yep.
Plenty of time here to get all the way to the rim. I wouldn't be surprised if they utilized Mosley, number 0, for LSU in some sort of ghost screen action. So maybe look for him to set a ghost screen as Reese is sprinting the ball up the floor. Maybe a little bit of a ghost screen pop, if you will. Tennessee has not scored in the last 3 minutes.
And LSU's made its last 5 shots, and if somehow they can get a bucket here, I mean, a 3-pointer would make it a 3-point game at the half. I don't know if I've ever seen a 3-point game at the half where you felt like one team was somewhat dominating the half, but the score would say otherwise. LSU has done everything it can to keep the score down and to keep the game close.
Do you think Matt McMahon would have taken down 6 at half?
100%.
Earlier today?
Absolutely.
So again, look for Reese to curl.
LSU lost a game to Kentucky on a setup like this.
Great
Good
pass.
look. And he never got his legs into the shot. That ball barely grazed the iron out of the hand of P.J. Carter. 35-29. Our halftime score, Tennessee on top of LSU as we send it to Fish, Slay, and Darinoka.
hear it for Owen Sanchez.
Tennessee Volunteers looking for their 8th conference win of the season against LSU. A little bit closer first half than the experts had, 35-29. Our halftime scores. We welcome you back inside. He is the coach, Mark Wise. I am Mike Morgan. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And Mark, you and I love offense. That first half, a little more defensive oriented.
Mike, I thought the curveball in the first 20 minutes was the LSU zone. It kept Tennessee off stride offensively.
Certainly did. And the other thing that was surprising in that first half, some of the leading scorers actually came off the bench, including Ethan Berg.
Yeah, he knocks down back-to-back threes en route to 8 points in the first half off the bench. LSU also got a lift off the bench in the first half. Mozzie Mosley also made 2 threes, one off the bounce, one off the ball fake. So both teams in the first half got a little 3-point lift from guys that don't start.
And that is today's Experts at Work, brought to you by Principal Ethan Berg, Mozzie Mosley, helping lead the way off the bench. Keep this stat in mind for LSU. Only 2 turnovers in that first half. So a very clean first half for LSU. They'd love to see a little more offense, but overall the pace to the liking of Coach Matt McMahon and company. Hook shot off the mark. The first shot is out of the right hand of Akpara.
And a changeup by Matt McMahon because they went man-to-man on that first possession. I kind of felt like Tennessee came out of the locker room and said, hey, this is what we need to do against the zone.
Reese
got to make that.
Wings it left side, and a wide open 3 is rattled home by Tamba. Tamba now with 10, and it's a 3-point game.
Doesn't take many on the year. That's just his 18th 3-ball attempt. But he does make them at an okay clip. Back man-to-man. It's almost like a game of chess, if you will.
Tough shot. Ahmed could not finish. LSU could tie it with a 3. Tennessee has led throughout this game. No ties, no lead changes.
What is it about road teams in this league?
You passed that number along to me, and I had to triple check to make sure it was accurate. But that is amazing that the road teams have a better than 50% winning percentage this year in the league. Reese ties it up as he splashes a triple. It's 35-all.
Yeah, the road teams have been winning 48%. As a matter of fact, midweek, every road team won. The road team went 6-0. Now, no road team has won so far today.
The home teams have gone unblemished. Pull-up jumper. Bishop Boswell, his first basket.
That's 3 straight possessions where LSU's played man-to-man. I promise you, the zone is going to reappear.
It's coming back. That ends an 11-1 run by the Tigers. Projecting the screen, throwing a alley-oop pass. LSU has found some rhythm on the offensive end.
That's just great communication that time with Reese and Sutton on the Kansas cut.
Sutton with his first basket. Remember, Coach McMahon saying every big game we've won this year, it coincides with Sutton having a big game. He needs more out of that young man. 3-ball off the mark for Gillespie, but an offensive rebound. Tennessee has been dominating the glass as they have all year long. Gillespie, 3-ball, corner pocket, knocks it down, and Tennessee back on top. Reese, stand-up dribble on the logo. LSU spreads it out. Around the ball screen. Almost a turnover. Wide open 3. Got it! LSU heating up from downtown. We're tied again. 3rd tie of this second half. Estrella goes airborne. Gets fouled on the slam attempt.
One of the challenges after they get the offensive rebound, roll it just a little bit. So here's the offensive rebound. Hold it there. Look at where all the defenders are. Why are the best three-point shots after offensive rebounds? Because the defense is scattered. They never get reset. That's good. One extra pass, second extra pass, and that leads to the corner three.
Estrella, 65% free throw shooter. Tennessee back up by a point. Couple subs for LSU. Reese and Mosley come in for the Bayou Bengals.
Mike, I know a lot of Tennessee fans are probably watching thinking, how can Tennessee play this way? I want to remind everybody, these players are not robots. This is not
right.
This is not a Game Boy situation, okay? I'm dating myself.
I thought you were going to go Atari 2600. No, it's right. And sometimes everybody tells you how much better you are than your opponent, and you don't play to the level that you need to.
Every segment that gets clicked off, LSU will get more and more confidence.
Sutton, that time it's just more of a throw than a shot.
No need to hope it up there.
Tennessee basketball up by a point. Gillespie thought about it. Weaving, pull-up jumper, too strong. And a great box out that time by Sutton. LSU can take its first lead of the game, and Sutton draws the foul. LSU surging down by just a point here in Knoxville.
Of all great upsets usually starts at the three-point line, and LSU is no different. They're last in the league, making just over 6 a game. They're 14th in three-point percentage. But here in the second half, they're 3 for 3. So on the game, they are 7 for 13, shooting 54% from bonus land. And that's the reason why they have got this fight in the middle of the ring.
I alluded to the game against Kentucky a while ago. Remember, LSU had Kentucky beat. Kentucky does the old Grant Hill to Christian Laettner.
Right.
They get the winning shot at the buzzer. That did two things. It was crippling psychologically to LSU, and really it got Kentucky going to the point where Mark Pope's team was playing much better basketball. But LSU has been starving for a win like this for quite some time. They always play hard. We talk about that man and his ability to get them coached up. And he said quite bluntly, hey, look, what are we going to do? Feel sorry for ourselves? All we can do at this point is keep fighting. Keep fighting every game. And one thing that you can definitely say about LSU, they have fought all season long, and they have their first lead of the night, 42-41.
And they look that way at shoot-around today.
Yes.
Engaged, spirited, full of energy, and on point. Here's the zone.
How do you want Tennessee to attack it?
Again, free throw line. I would like to see Ament go in and out of the zone.
Brown just shot puts one up. That's not the look that I think Rick Barnes wanted.
It's the right area, but maybe the wrong guy shooting that. But here we go again. LSU tempoing the game.
Reese surveys, skips it over, left wing three on the way, short. And a lot of contact, no whistle on the fight for the rebound. Here comes Gillespie. Gillespie not finding anybody open, instead goes up top Brown. Left side Boswell.
After the miss, they go man-to-man. It just is keeping Tennessee off kilter a little bit offensively. There's that pocket pass that I don't like the bigs a lot.
Half a dozen turnovers now on Tennessee. We've only had 8 turnovers in this entire game. LSU is sitting on just 2 turnovers in over 25 minutes of action. That is an outstanding stat.
Oh,
and
yes.
There's a breakaway and a slam. Marquell Sutton beat the defense down the floor, and it's 44-41 LSU.
How about the attack mode, though? Tennessee goes down the floor with a little pressure, and LSU hits the home run. Well, there's where the ball needs to go. You got to make this shot.
Another shot put, but there's the follow. Carey got his own miss, taps it in, back to a 1-point game.
Harder to rebound out of a zone because there are no block-out responsibilities. The guards better get involved.
Reese has been heady at the point guard spot tonight.
Yeah,
Mosley.
This swinging stagger again.
Inside it comes. Little jump hook shot. Where did that come from, Robert Miller?
Yeah, he's been pretty good the last 3, averaging 8 and 5 for the Tigers.
Silences the crowd here at the Food City Arena.
Yep.
There it is, down low. And all LSU could do was hack Dwayne Brown.
Watch the home run play. Sutton coming right at you.
It's a good looking pass.
Yeah, that was on the fly pattern,
Somebody
wasn't
talked to Lane Kiffin.
And then down low, Robert Miller wants to operate over his left shoulder. That is a big-time finish over pretty good defense.
That last foul is the 4th foul on Robert Miller. Robert Miller will exit stage right. I'm not sure we're going to see him again for a while.
Might be score dependent.
Brown takes care of business at the line. 46-45 LSU.
What did Rick Barnes tell us about Dwayne Brown? That he felt like he's made the most growth over the course of the season out of all of his bigs.
Gatorade State Player of the Year in Alabama last season. LSU, great ball movement and a push foul. That's going to be on Ahmed as he bumped Sutton off the baseline.
Right now, the LSU execution on offense is better than the Tennessee defense.
I think that's more than fair to say. I think Rick Barnes would say the same thing at this point. And LSU is putting on a clinic in the second half.
Short roll move without the ball. There's the push from behind by Boswell.
I said Ahmed, actually on Boswell. That's his 3rd.
Here's one stagger action. And here comes the second one. That is such good stuff.
Offensive rebound. LSU buys an extra possession and a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Reese directing traffic. In the face of Estrella, but Estrella clearly altered that shot to the point where it's an air ball. Estrella telling Reese, I didn't block it, you just airballed it, son.
Jawing at each other a little bit. I didn't like the shot selection.
No. One of the few mistakes Reese has made in this game. He's played one of his better games this year.
See, this is better body movement but don't stand. There's the ball into the middle.
Berg around the screen. Amen. Euro hammered by Nwoko. Nwoko, he sometimes just can't help himself, and now he is in foul trouble. That's one where it was going to be an incredibly difficult shot.
Just wall up, be vertical. It's his right arm on the swat down. There's no question that's a foul.
And that's the 4th foul on Nwoko. So you've got your 2 bigs.
Yeah.
Nwoko and Miller each with 4 fouls with over 12 minutes to play.
It's where you want to wall up, and if the freshman makes a tough 2, just give him credit. So now LSU will have to play really small.
Very small. I mean, that is an incredibly small lineup. Your big, if you want to call it that, is Tamba, who's listed at 6'7", 205 pounds. Compared to the gargantuan front line of Tennessee. And the Volunteers back on top by a point. Crowd comes alive here at Food City Arena. King knifing in and lays it in. LSU back up by a point.
I'm just so impressed. The Tigers, oh, that's a block. Tigers are getting what they want offensively. And it was that continuous motion call? Count the basket for Ament.
Wow. Byron Jarrett gives it to him. An and one. 11:55. Things getting awfully interesting in Knoxville. Now, Matt McMahon has been through a lot this season, and right now his team can sense some blood in the water, a chance to pull off the upset. Mike Morgan, Mark Wise, if you're wondering where Matt McMahon is from, it's not far from here. About 25 minutes due west, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. In fact, he and his family grew up Tennessee fans. They would sit at games right behind us. Section 121, row 19. He remembered the exact seats where he and his family used to go. He was actually a GA here for a short part of time under Buzz Peterson, and then, of course, eventually made his way to Murray State before landing the LSU job. But this has always been a special area to Matt McMahon and a special building for the former Tennessee native.
You know what else is special? His game plan today. It's been on point. He's kept Tennessee off track offensively, changing the defenses. Now it's come at a price, and the price is his bigs are in big-time foul trouble.
Amen completes the three-point play. 13 now for the talented freshman. The lead for Tennessee is back to 2. Mosley up top, Sutton. Sutton puts it on the deck, driving, blocked by Ament. Gets it back. Hook shot is good, right between the eyes of Carey, and he ties it up at 50.
I love the extra effort play by Sutton. Gets his first shot blocked, doesn't deter him.
A half a dozen ties now in this second half. Carey, first pass deflected.
Yeah, Amen was at the free throw line. You've got to get him the ball there.
Big time three by Jacoby Gillespie. Transfer from Maryland. What a huge addition he has been. They lost the heartbeat of this team for so many years with Ziegler. Under 11 minutes to play. Still a one-possession game. A three launched and missed by King.
Let's keep our eye on Amen. Well, nobody picks up Gillespie. Back to man on the miss, though. That's good recognition. This should be a hoop.
Paint touch for Carey. No, but Estrella, yes. Too big, Tennessee. And I think Matt McMahon wants a timeout. Not just strategy. This might give his team a much-needed breather because they have become even more shorthanded than ever. 8-2 Tennessee run with 10:23 to go.
Jacoby Gillespie makes more threes in league play than anybody else in the league. This one gives UT the lead.
(55-50) Tennessee leading LSU with 10:23 to go. Mike Morgan, Mark Wise with you in Knoxville. You are looking at Taylor Lunn, 13 years of age, beat leukemia not once but twice, part of the Dream on 3 program, and a dream weekend for her. She had a clinic with the Spirit team yesterday, and then here tonight, actually part of the Spirit team as well. She'll be back tomorrow for the women's game. And I mean, this young lady who's been through so much is living her best life throughout this weekend. What a terrific program. And I mean, you just can't say enough about Taylor Lunn. Again, just 13 years of age. What a tremendous story, Mark.
First fought her leukemia battle at the age of 3. Took her a long time to get in remission. Then it resurfaced when she was 11. I can tell you this, Mike, having been a one-time survivor of radiation and chemo, to have to go through it twice, what a wonderful story. Good for you, Taylor. Well done.
Amen to that. LSU trying to cut into a 5-point deficit here. Rising fire 3, came out flat, and Estrella, as he often does, has a great box out and picks up the carry.
Not a bad shot, though, for Mosley.
Tennessee is at 4 out of its last 5 field goals. Bird angles it in, or tries to Estrella, but the pass is wide of the mark.
He needed one more pass to create a better angle. is a tough angle to try and get that through on the bounce.
Estrella always looks like he's angry. He's barking at teammates. He's barking at opponents. Never lacking intensity, that's for sure. I'll have to show some here. That is a tough shot by Nwoko. Can't find the mark on the hook shot.
Mike, men are rebounding in this game.
Yes. Nwoko back on the floor with those 4 fouls, and Gillespie back behind the arc where he loves to ignite. That's his 4th triple, 12 points, and Tennessee's lead swells to 8.
Just a little drag screen in transition. I didn't think the defender of the screener stepped up soon enough.
8-0 run for the Vols. Nwoko banging bodies with Estrella. Beautiful drop hook time. That time right on Estrella.
He likes that explosive move over the left shoulder, doesn't he?
Sure does. He's always going to be able to create some space with that body. Looks like he was chiseled out of a lab.
And this is where I like Amen, right there. Yes.
Estrella. He's a problem on the offensive glass, and so too is Tennessee.
And Matt McMahon's got to think about bringing back both bigs at some point in time. Nwoko's back on.
Nwoko,
that's a foul.
That is a foul on Estrella. And Estrella that time will bark at himself as he knows he got caught red-handed. It's his 2nd.
Now coming back up, keep your eye not on the dribbler, but on the defender who comes. Here's this drag screen. Freeze it right there. Look at the defender. He's too far off. So when Gillespie comes off on the bounce, he has a clear look. That's an easy 3. And as I mentioned, Gillespie makes more threes per game in league play than any other player.
Free Chick-fil-A if Nwoko misses the 2nd free throw here. He does not. Silences the crowd and keeps the appetite yearning.
What a groan from 16,000 people.
Yes.
Back to the zone. I love Amen in the free throw line. He's got to go in and out, though.
He gets it. They collapse on him. Faces, fires, and missed it. But another offensive rebound. And that's Sutton. Sutton, that's his 3rd foul. LSU, it's going to be a battle of attrition for LSU because you've got 2 players with 4. Sutton now with 3. And a lot of time to go and not many other backups from the forward or center position.
Illegal screen, yeah.
Estrella.
Kind of a frustration screen, if you will. One of the many things, Mike, I've always admired about Rick Barnes, he doesn't spend a majority of his time working the refs.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, he'll get into them when he thinks he's right.
Pick your spots.
But he's not a guy that just every play says something.
Unlike yourself.
Unlike myself.
You're
yes.
all over him from the opening tip. Under 8 minutes to play. LSU trying to get some of that mojo back. They had all the momentum a couple minutes ago. King. Tough shot. Barely grazes iron.
Better defensive stand by the Vols. Same drag screen.
Gillespie crowded behind the arc. Gets it back on the return. Ball screen. Weaving. Probing. And finds a wide open shooter. Short, but out of bounds off of LSU. Tough break for the Tigers. Tennessee will have it when we come back. 60-53 with 7:13 to play. Time now to check out the good hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Tennessee plus 20 in rebound margin. One of the reasons why the play of J.P. Estrella. He's gone for 14 and 6. 3 of his 6 rebounds have been on the offensive end. If you're looking for a difference in this game, it is second chance points. Tennessee with 16, LSU with 2.
It's what Tennessee does so well. It's a staple of a Rick Barnes team. Great rebounding, great defense. We've seen plenty of that from Tennessee. We've also seen plenty of fight from LSU, who trailed throughout the first half and then took multiple leads here in the second. Tennessee up by 7 here, and LSU falls back into the zone. Amen. Tight rope on the baseline, missed it. Estrella again. Estrella got it back, cradles, fires, and hits. Estrella is just menacing down low.
He even took an offensive rebound away from his own player.
Yeah. Just an absolute warrior, the kind of player Rick Barnes has always loved. J.P. Estrella. Nice response that time by Sutton.
I've been really impressed with Sutton today. I know Matt McMahon talked to us about he needs more from Sutton on the offensive end. I like the way he's looking to be more offensive minded. Yeah,
speaking of offensive minded, 15 points for Amen. That's just candy, a wide open 15-footer.
Not only that, he hasn't really, in my view, kind of played that well. And here he's got 15.
15 points, 6 rebounds for the talented freshman. Sutton on a heat
yeah.
check 3.
Oh, yeah.
Sutton putting together one of his best games of the year, 13 points, 7 rebounds.
There's nothing wrong with that stroke. It's just confidence, 27% on the year.
Under 6 minutes to play, a 6-point game. Amen. Hunting a shot. Couple crossovers. And took it right in. Thought he was going to get the whistle on Nwoko. Didn't get it. And now a great play by Gillespie. Taken away, assured basket for LSU. And then Sutton taps it. And now it's helter-skelter. LSU, bodies diving, falling. My goodness, it'll be LSU ball. You think these two teams care about winning this game?
Oh, my gosh, what effort.
Maximum effort on that last sequence. And a couple of bodies down here. I think everybody's okay.
Take a look at this end-to-end action that starts with Gillespie. That pass was way too late. The catch, the save, and then the ball was batted around. That's a good save also by Reese to keep it in bounds, and then Boswell gets called for the clip. I thought that was an easy call.
Yeah. Have a timeout on the floor. We've got some blood on the floor. Boswell went into the tunnel for Tennessee. And we got some mop-up work to do. Not mop-up duty.
Well, LSU, Mike, they have been the definition of the hang-around team today.
You know, we can't say enough about this. LSU is 2-9. And I know mathematically they're still alive, but let's be realistic here. It would take a darn near a miracle for them to be playing in the NCAA tournament. There has never been a lack of effort or energy from LSU, not just today, but really for much of this season.
Right. Tennessee has never led, and they've never been comfortable. The credit for that goes to LSU.
Tennessee has led this game for 29 of the 33 minutes. But none of that matters if LSU can put something together here in the final 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
I forgot that they actually caught them and took the lead that 1 minute.
It was quick. It was quick. For a while there, they kept tying.
So let me say, restate that. Tennessee's only trailed once, but they've never been comfortable.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. Yeah, the first lead for LSU came at the 15:35 mark. They came out of the locker room in the second half hitting everything. And then Tennessee made a run, and then Tennessee is once again just completely bludgeoned an opponent on the offensive glass, and that's really why Tennessee has the lead right now. It's second chance opportunities. Under 5 to play. Reese, who's working on a season high 15, wants 3 more, pops out, offensive rebound LSU. And wide open down low, pump fake, shot up and in. Sutton with 15, and it's back to a 4-point game.
Balls with lack of communication after the LSU offensive rebound.
Gillespie, he checked. Another offensive rebound.
Nice job by Berg.
40 rebounds for Tennessee in the game. Amen. Going to work. Amen. Right in the face that time of Tamba. I don't think Tamba could have played it much better, but Amen was just better on the play.
I thought he was vertical, really vertical, but was he in Amen's cylinder?
Right.
It seems like every time Tennessee wants to get on a run, LSU has an answer.
Free throw line, 5 to shoot. That's a tough pass. Miller gets it, 3 to shoot. Finds Tamba, who's hammered. And Estrella picked up his 4th foul. And a timeout on the floor. Don't go anywhere. Things will remain interesting here, I'm sure, for the final 3:46.
Nate Amen gets feet into the paint. Watch this tough shot maker.
Thank you very much, Dari. They're swagging, they're surfing, and Tennessee hopes to be winning another SEC game. It will not come easy. Mike Morgan, Mark Wise. Tennessee has had all it can handle against LSU, particularly in this second half, in which LSU has led a couple of times. We've had several ties, and Tennessee has been living off offensive rebounds. They are doubling up LSU on the glass, 40-19, and without it, Mark, I don't think they're leading this game.
I don't think there's any question about it as you take a look at some foul trouble. LSU with all kinds of problems, and Tennessee's got Estrella and Boswell with 4 as well.
Samba can't connect. Pablo Tamba.
Well, now, Mike, that's going to get everybody excited again.
Oh, why wouldn't it? I mean, we're talking about free food. Denied. Calmly sinks the second, much to the dismay of a hungry student section. And it's a 5-point game with under 4 to play.
LSU man-to-man.
Foul away from the ball, down low, trying to hold Ament.
Yeah, every time Ament cuts, he is attracting such a crowd. He is such a magnet offensively for Tennessee.
And again, LSU has 2 players on the floor with 4 fouls. Miller is 1. I beg your pardon, Nwoko is actually off the floor right now. Up top, Gillespie. Back to the big, and the finish. Beautiful play between Gillespie and Akpara.
Miller didn't want to foul out, did not challenge.
Akpara had a huge game the first time, or the last time these 2 teams met in Baton Rouge. 15 points and 6 rebounds. Miller runs into a brick wall, gets it up there, no. Offensive rebound, sets up an open 3, miss, and another offensive rebound for LSU. Beating Tennessee at its own game. 3-ball, corner pocket off the mark. Plenty of great looks, but no finish.
Sensational passing and rebounding by LSU, and they do not get a payoff.
Now under 3 minutes to go, and Tennessee can really ratchet up the pressure on LSU with a 3 here. Bird came off his hand funny.
We were on that exact line. That didn't look good.
The moment it left his fingertips, you just knew. Amen. Boards it. Knocked out of bounds. Tennessee ball. There's still plenty of time in this one if you're LSU, but you're going to have to start getting some stops here and try to get some possessions where you cash in.
And if you're Tennessee, I think Ament has to get a touch.
Yeah. I'm at the point now as we get closer and closer to postseason. I think announcers such as us are going to be saying that more and more. Ament needs to get a touch here.
Yeah.
Because offensively, when he does not touch the ball, the offense gets a little bit sluggish at times.
Good to see Boswell back on the floor after that tough spill.
Yeah, a little cotton in the right nostril. Cut me, Mick. 7-point game closing in on 2 minutes remaining in Knoxville, Tennessee.
They got a mismatch if they get it to him inside. There it is.
On Mosley. Mosley giving up about 5 inches. Rejection. Coming out of nowhere on the block was Robert Miller.
Talk about weak side help.
Yes. Huge possession for LSU. And a foul. Reach-in foul on Gillespie. And that will be team foul number 7. So a crucial 1-and-1 upcoming for LSU.
Estrella knows he's fortunate that that foul was called on Gillespie. Watch the ball fake and then driving by. Yeah, that foul's on Estrella.
Yeah, it should be on Estrella. Absolutely right. Estrella should be out of the game. Tamba pinched it but got the friendly bounce. 6-point game. Tamba out of Spain. Played 2 years at UC Davis. And pretty stroke on those 2.
How about the growth of Tamba and Sutton as a combination today for LSU? Mosley on the point, little 1-2-2. Back to man-to-man.
Tennessee content with bleeding some clock here, up by 5.
Got to maintain your aggression, though.
Amen. And a bump foul.
And that's why, I'm sorry, Mike, that's why you put the ball in your best player's hand. Because any foul now puts your best player at the free throw line.
And one of your best free throw shooters at the free throw line is Amen is 78%. Third foul on Tamba. Each team in the bonus now. A 1-1 for the uber talented freshman out of the state of Virginia, Highland School. Manassas, his hometown. McDonald's All-American. Favorite player is Kevin Durant. And whenever somebody is thin and somewhere between 6'10" and 7 feet and has a nice touch on the jump shot, you can imagine people start saying, kind of an unfair comparison. KD is one of the best to ever do it. And an offensive rebound, that is going to be what ultimately, if Tennessee holds on, wins this game for the Volunteers. 16 offensive rebounds.
That's a foul. You just cannot reach. Estrella gets the credit for that tap out on the missed free throw to keep the play alive. Just no reason to reach there.
3 LSU Tigers now with 4 fouls as Tamba collects his 4th. th McDonald's All-American to ever attend the University of Tennessee. SummerSlam Classic MVP. Had 29 points both at Alabama and at Kentucky. So he has shined in some of the biggest and most difficult games of the year. And the 5-time freshman of the week buries a pair, and if you're LSU now, a sense of urgency kicks in.
And Ament just seems to deliver for Tennessee when they need him the most.
LSU trying to find some space and an open shooter. There's one. Tamba, too strong, and over the back on LSU. And that will make it awfully difficult for the Tigers to come back down 7 with Tennessee going to the line.
Mike, every team has its own unique journey, and part of that journey is you have to figure out how to win games when you don't play your best. And I don't think Tennessee has played their best today, but LSU is the reason for a lot of that.
Now, LSU came to play again shorthanded on top of the 2 starters that have been out for much of the year. No Max McKinnon, who could have helped with some 3-point shooting in this game for sure. Those are 3 guys that were expected to be in the starting lineup to go along with Thomas and Reed.
LSU spending the night in Knoxville tonight. They're going straight to Texas tomorrow.
I like that
Tuesday. Yes, Matt McMahon talked to us about getting in at 4 a.m. on some trips. And just felt like this was a better way to do this. LSU is in Mardi Gras break right now.
Tennessee has won 4 in a row in the series and looking for their 5th straight against the LSU Tigers.
Oh, I like that little half-court trap. Zone look. How about this for a Rick Barnes team?
Way too much time if you're LSU.
Well, that's the reason for the change of defense. Well played.
Hey!
Offensive rebound out of bounds to the Tigers. But that took over 20 seconds to get a shot off. You're down 10 points.
Love the call, though. Love the call by Rick Barnes.
Sutton. Fade and fire. Rims off. And Ament clears it. Matt McMahon saying don't foul, just let it play out. Tennessee will tick away the final 10 seconds. And the Volunteers pick up the win, and that man, Rick Barnes, joins a prestigious group to pick up 250 wins at 2 different schools, as this will be win number 250 at the University of Tennessee. The Hall of Famer puts his name on another accolade, and Tennessee puts its name on another victory, improving to 8-4 in SEC play. Mark Wise, some final thoughts.
Well, again, I'm going to say this again. Every team has to learn to win when you're not comfortable in a game. LSU made Tennessee very uncomfortable, and yet the Vols, because of that rebound margin of over 20, because of the points in the paint, plus 18, block to block, down in that high rent district, that's where Tennessee won the game.
Yeah, complete bully ball down low for the Volunteers. They win the battle of the boards. They win the game by 10. For Mark Wise and our entire SEC Network crew, Mike Morgan saying so long from Knoxville. Let's send it to the gang back in studio.
Your final score, Tennessee 73, LSU 63.